If you're just starting out with minimalism or just decluttering in general, I know it can be super overwhelming, but I'm here to tell you that living clutter-free is possible in 2024. And I wanted to share my guide to decluttering and an easier way of separating areas in your life so that decluttering can be less overwhelming and more efficient. Because trust me, I understand that there's so many different places, so many different areas. It just feels so jumbled up inside your head that you're like, where do I start? How can I go about making a plan, making a goal, making time for decluttering? Because a lot of us have jobs or maybe kids or like a huge house or just a lot in our lives going on, and sometimes it's hard to like make time to actually plan out how we're going to go about decluttering our lives, but we have the desire, we have the passion to do it. I'm here to tell you that everything you need to declutter is split up into 3 different areas, and the way that we can tackle these areas are quite simple. So let's get into it. So let's be honest, there's 3 different areas in our life to declutter: our physical spaces, our digital spaces, and our mental spaces. It's January right now, and when you think about the year as a whole, there's 4 quarters in a year, right? We have January, February, March, that's 3 months, April, May, June, July, August, September, and October, November, and December. We're broken up already into 4 quarters of the year. 3 months clustered together is a lot of time. Nice of you to join us. Let's talk about what I think, and probably what a lot of people can agree on is the biggest area in our life to declutter, which is our physical area. Our physical areas to declutter can consist of a lot of different places. If you have a big house, all of your rooms. Bedrooms, bathrooms, kitchen, living room, your garage, your flex room. Say you might have a gym, an office, a laundry. Broken these rooms up into clothes, miscellaneous places, shoes, accessories, products, appliances. There's so many different things to declutter in these areas. But let's just say we talked about the quarters of a year, right? Say we want to tackle everything by difficulty. We can start off by doing 2 quarters of the year of our physical declutters. That means half the year we're going to focus solely on decluttering everything physical in our lives. And let's say we declutter by room. So let's say in January we declutter your bedroom. We declutter your bedroom maybe week 1. Declutter someone else's bedroom week 2. Maybe if you have a 2-bedroom place, so you give 2 weeks of the month to those bedrooms and you declutter whenever you can. It can be 5 minutes a day, 10 minutes a day, or every single day, 7 hours a day if you have that much time. Then let's say you move on to month 2. February. So you already decluttered all the bedrooms in your house, and now in February you want to declutter all of the bathrooms. So the bathrooms include like all of the products, all of the toiletries, maybe if you have like makeup products in there. You can do like decluttering for the first 2 weeks of the month, cleaning and organizing for the next 2 weeks of the month. You just plan out your physical spaces and realistically what you can get done in that amount of time that you allot yourself. And if you need like the whole 6 months to declutter all your physical spaces, then use it. Like say you only need the first quarter to declutter everything in your house. So let's say you did January, February, March, right? In January, you did it differently. You decluttered all the clothes in your house in January. In February, you decluttered all of the shoes and accessories and products. And in March, you decluttered all of the miscellaneous items and appliances, stationary items, your car or something. And I know that this is going to be like the biggest category for a lot of us, but say like you just have a small apartment. Like say you're like me, where you just have your room or you just lived in your small apartment. So you're only really liable for yourself. Or what I did was I did about like a couple weeks for each category. I think I did my clothes in like 1 week, and I was sick that week so I didn't go to work. But even when I did go to work, I did it all morning. I just can't stop until things are done, so I was decluttering like all day long. Next, I want to talk about our digital spaces. So this area of our life consists of a lot of clutter in our phones, our laptops, and our hard drives. Let's say the main things to declutter in these areas would be our photos, our messages, our email inbox, our apps, our hard drives, our subscriptions, what we're subscribed to, and our social medias. This is another big area to declutter because I feel like that we don't realize how much clutter we accumulate in our digital spaces, because in our physical spaces we can see it physically. Like if I had 20,000 books in front of me, then I'd be like, wow, that's a lot of books and a lot of clutter I need to figure out where to put. But if we have 20,000 emails on our one app, then we're like, okay, it's fine because, you know, I don't see it. I mean, the number's bothering me, but I don't have to do anything about it because it's not taking up space in my life. It's just kind of causing me like subconscious stress. So, but that's something that like still adds up in our cluttered mind. Say like we went to the extreme and we needed the 6 months for the physical spaces to declutter, and I think this is like the best formula, the best blueprint, because when you're starting off the year, I feel like there's a lot more motivation, so you might as well start with the hardest thing first, right? I would say our digital spaces for the third quarter of the year, which is July, August, and September. And like when we cut it up this way, it takes a lot less pressure off of us because that's 3 months. There's a lot that you can get done in 3 months. When you give yourself unrealistic expectations of be like, I'm getting this done in 1 month, or I'm gonna get this done in 2 weeks, there's a lot of pressure for you to declutter and for you to like have this perfect like minimalistic life after decluttering in like 3 weeks. Like, it's not gonna happen that way. It's gonna take time. But I think decluttering in phases, especially in quarters of the year, gives yourself a lot of time. And when you think about it as a whole, that's 1 year of decluttering every area of your life. Let's say for the third quarter of the year, you do your digital spaces. Let's say for July, the first month of that quarter, photos can be a really big thing. Like, I don't know about you, but at one point I had like 20,000 things in my photo gallery and that's a lot. So photos can be a lot to go through in and of itself. So you can honestly do 1 month of just strict photos, like just going through your photo album, going through your videos, your Google Drive, your iCloud. August, you do strictly your phone and laptop, your email, your messages, your folders, your hard drive. And then the last month of the quarter, which would be September, you do all of social media. You do your following list, your follower list, and you look through people. Do these people or do these accounts really bring value into my life? Does it make me feel good about myself? Does it make me feel motivated? Do these people really bring anything to the table for me? And then going through your post, maybe like you wanted to delete some pictures or archive some pictures, really just reshape your Instagram to be more personal, maybe to be more motivating, maybe change up your feed or whatever you would want to do in that time. And then just like going through your apps in general and subscriptions in general, and going through what you can maybe unsubscribe from, developing a system to where you know that you can go back and like regularly maintain these digital spaces, because we're on our phone all the time and it's easy to forget to maintain your digital spaces because you're so like I said, it's so easy to forget about the clutter in there. But maybe making a point to being like, okay, at the end of the week or at the end of the month, I'll always go back and I'll check my email inbox and like clear things out, or check my photo gallery and just like, you know, routinely get rid of a couple things. Okay, and the last area to declutter, I think, is one of the most important, and I'm saving this for the last quarter of the year because usually towards the last quarter of the year we do a lot of reflection on our year as a whole, and we feel a little bit more motivation to do better for the year coming up. And so I'm saving this one for the last quarter because I think that it'll be much easier to have this mental declutter when you've done all of your physical declutters already and digital declutters, because when we have a lot on our plate, we have a lot of clutter around us, it can be hard for us to think clearly. A lot of these extra stressors can fog our mind. Now everything around us is clean. Everything around us is decluttered. We went through everything and we feel so much more in control of our lives. We feel so much more stress-free because we did that. We actually did it. A mental declutter is one of the most important practices that we should practice in our lives every day. I feel like we talk a lot about our physical spaces and our digital spaces, but our mental spaces can also be super, super cluttered with so many things that we want to do, so much trauma that's built up, so much emotions, thoughts, feelings, pain. Like, there's so many different things that like we have within our minds that we don't realize we need to get out. We need to get these things out of our mind and onto paper, or just out by talking, and we don't realize that how much that could actually help us in the long run, because the more that we talk about the things in our head and the more that we maybe write about the things in our head, the more space clears up for better energy and better thoughts and more positive feelings and emotions, and more opportunities to be able to enter that we can accept. I would say that there's 4 different things for us to declutter from our minds. Just a regular brain dump, just journaling and talking about like what's going on right now, what's going on in my life, what am I thinking about right now. So many random thoughts that you could just jot down. This is in my head, I'm just gonna get it out. This can be done every day, every morning. All of these that I'm about to talk about can be done every day and every morning. Obviously, some of them are going to be harder than others. Trauma dump. This can be one of the hard ones. It's really just about accepting the things that have happened in your life, and we can't begin to accept the things that are happening in our life if we don't acknowledge that it happened. So actually talking about it and actually writing it down helps us acknowledge that it's actually happened in our life, and helps us think and wire ways that we can do better and accept that it's happened so that we can move on from it. But also it helps us actually feel the emotions that we need to feel from these events, because sometimes when we keep them bottled up in our mind and in our hearts and they can't come out, that means your feelings are festering, and that means they're bottling up, and that means they have not been able to come out. And so they're probably coming out in unhealthy ways and unhealthy habits that you don't realize are actually happening. Goal dump. So basically writing down your goals and writing down the things that you want to do in life, because once you actually write these things down, like you see them on paper or you talk about them to somebody, talking about them in general gets them out and gets you even motivated, to be like, okay, these are my goals, like I can actually achieve them, and what systems could I put in place to actually achieve these goals. But first we have to actually acknowledge that they're there and acknowledge that this is what we actually want out of life. And then desire dump. This is kind of the same thing as like a goal dump, but I would say desire dump can go into like specific areas of your life, like relationships, friendships, how you want to feel within yourself, like your wardrobe, your makeup, your travel desires, just desires in general. It's basically like your wish for something, like what you wish to have go on in your life, what you wish to feel. I would say that these are the best things to talk about or mentally declutter so that you can free more space in your mind. And the ways that you can go about decluttering these areas in your mind are journaling or therapy or verbalizing in any way, like just talking to a camera to yourself, or just talking to yourself in general about the things that you want, about the things that you're going through, like giving yourself pep talks. But journaling and therapy, I say, is probably the two best things that I would say that you can do, because you can do journaling like every day and you can have regularly scheduled therapy appointments like I do, and I found that it's helped me tremendously in just keeping up with my mental progress and actually going through the emotion and the painful like feelings that I have to go through due to the trauma that I went to in my life. And it's helped me accept that. And writing about it has helped me accept those feelings too, in order to move on and just to even talk about it now. Maybe those 3 months you can just go to scheduled therapy. You can journal every day and really just do a lot of introspection, a lot of like asking yourself really deep questions about what you want out of life and like why you're here, like what you think your purpose is. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I just kind of like didn't have a plan for this video. I kind of just wanted to talk about how you can go about decluttering your life in 3 different areas. I think that this is a really good way personally to go about decluttering, especially if it's super overwhelming for you. And a lot of people can do it in a lot less time or a lot more time, and that's okay because we're all on our own journey. But this is just to kind of put you in the right direction and get you thinking a little bit about how it can maybe help you in your journey. So I hope these tips can help you out a little bit, and let me know if you have any tips in general or any suggestions for decluttering and how you can go about making it easier and simpler for yourself and others. I love you guys so much. Mwah. Bye.